If you ever had the opportunity to rewrite your story, would you do it? Would you treat your past like a professional editor and fine-tune all the little moments you wish it had different outcomes? Or would you simply transform into a frustrated painter and brush over everything in white to restart from a blank canvas? Would you remove the negative parts of your life and replace them with positive experiences? I know that sounds like an obvious question, but I'm genuinely asking, would you do it? I ask myself this question a lot, particularly when I'm struggling with a bout of existential crisis or when I'm facing anxiety about my future. I ask myself this question when I get frustrated with my job or even with how hard it is to actually grow on YouTube. If only I could change some things about my past, maybe life would be different. Maybe things wouldn't be so difficult. Maybe if I had grown up in a more affluent family, or if I'd lived in a city with greater opportunities, or if I hadn't experienced certain traumas, I'd be better off. Maybe I'd even be a more successful, more influential, and overall happier version of myself. But then again, maybe not. Years ago, I watched the 2004 movie The Butterfly Effect starring Ashton Kutcher. While the movie itself isn't all that great, it did introduce me to the idea of the butterfly effect, which I've been fascinated with ever since. If you're unfamiliar with the butterfly effect, it's a concept stemming from chaos theory which states that small changes in starting conditions can lead to vastly different outcomes over time. The most commonly used metaphor to explain this is that the flap of a butterfly's wings in Brazil could eventually cause a tornado in Texas. In other words, any change to a specific situation, no matter how minute it may seem, can lead to wildly different and often unpredictable outcomes. In the movie, this exact thing happens numerous times. Ashton Kutcher's character Evan discovers he can travel back in time and change the past, so he decides to go back and try and protect himself and his friends from several psychological traumas they all endured as kids. Unfortunately, every time he does this, it leads to increasingly worse futures, including one where he ends up in prison, one where he becomes a double amputee, and even one where he ends up committed to an insane asylum due to brain damage. In the end, Evan solves all of this by going back in time and making it so that he and his friends never actually meet, avoiding all of their horrific experiences altogether, but sadly, also avoiding all the good ones in the process. Another example of the butterfly effect that's in the same vein is known as the baby Hitler thought experiment. It goes like this. If you had the opportunity to go back in time and baby Hitler, knowing who he would become, would you do it? What Hitler and the Nazi regime did was unthinkable. Their actions directly led to the deaths of roughly 6 million Jewish people and somewhere around 75 million other people during World War II. With that in mind, the scenario almost feels like a non-decision. You most definitely should off baby Hitler if you had the chance. But then some questions start coming up. Is it moral to kill someone who hasn't actually committed crimes, even if you know they will? And what if getting rid of Hitler gave rise to another, perhaps even worse, dictator? Hitler's ultimate goal at the time was to create a racially pure German empire comprised of nothing but blonde-haired, blue-eyed people that would essentially dominate the world. What if getting rid of him put someone in power that would have succeeded? Those are the possible implications of the butterfly effect. So, after learning all of that, let's go back to the idea of rewriting your own story. It's easy to say, yes, there are so many things I would love to go back and change, like that time a waiter told me to enjoy my meal, and I said thanks, you too. But, like with the Butterfly Effect movie and the Baby Hitler thought experiment, what's to say that changing anything would leave you better off than you are now? How can you be sure that you won't end up worse off? Well, that's the thing. You can't. Like I said in the beginning, the outcomes are largely unpredictable, so there is no way to say with any amount of certainty that things will be better if you were to make any changes. So, is it really worth the risk? On top of that, many of us often get caught up in how much better our lives could be, so much so that we forget to appreciate how good our lives actually are. And with social media algorithms spoon-feeding us non-stop content of young people that are wildly successful, it only further reinforces those feelings that we could be doing better, that we could be further ahead. But only focusing on what could be makes you depreciate what is, the here and now, how far we've already come and the things we've already achieved. If we were to die tomorrow, can you imagine the regret of not having been grateful for the things that we did accomplish? Plus, in my experience, real change, real breakthrough happens when you let go of expectations and you just embrace the season that you're in, when you let go of who you want to be and embrace who you are in this very moment. And the funny thing about that is that who you are in this moment is a creation molded by all of your lived experiences. The way you think, the way you dress, your hopes and dreams for the future. Every aspect of who you are has been shaped by the many things you've lived through. If any one of those were to change, it's very likely that you would be an entirely different person, and there's no guarantee that you would have been a better version of yourself. You could be worse. Shit, you could be the next Hitler. I know it sounds crazy, and the likelihood of that happening is probably super low, but the butterfly effect means that you can't completely rule it out. As for me, I'm not where I want to be in life yet. I have goals I want to accomplish and things that I still want to do, and I do wish that I already had those things. Who wouldn't? I also have some experiences in my past that, frankly, I could have done without. But I can also appreciate who I am in this very moment. It's true that I haven't achieved my goals yet, and maybe I'm not the type of person that can achieve them yet, but I think I have the right mindset and I think I'm on the right track. And I realize that that's a direct result of everything I've lived through up until now, and honestly, I can appreciate that as well. I'll be the first to admit that it's impossible to be grateful or appreciative of every moment in your life, but you can appreciate how those moments helped shape you into who you are. The good, the bad, the happy and the sad, every moment played a role in who you are and who I am. I probably wouldn't be here making these videos for you if anything in my life had played out differently. So if you were to ask me if I would rewrite my story if I ever had the chance to, the most honest answer I can come up with is simply no. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I have a great video on why you would actually hate your idea of a perfect life, so consider watching that next. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.